If you're interested in starting strength training and you're not really sure how, and you've been asking around, like, how do I even get started? What should I do? Then this is the episode for you. I'm going to go over the 5 things that you need to get started. It is not rocket science, and you can do it. If we haven't met before, my name is Lynn Zetterloff Airisto, and I'm a certified menopause fitness coach. And I am here to help women like you get started strength training so you can be stronger, fitter, firmer, and crush the decades ahead. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, you want to get started with real strength training. So don't be fooled by classes that claim to be strength training or follow along videos in YouTube that claim to be strength training. You want to do proper strength training if you want to get the most bang for your buck, so the best results and the fastest. There's a reason why Arnold Schwarzenegger was not in a group fitness class and was not at home in front of his TV doing YouTube videos, because it just doesn't work. He was there pumping iron, following a program, and working with progressive overload. And even if you're not interested in stepping on stage, it is those very techniques that are going to get you to the result that you're after. This is such a well-studied field. How do you build muscle? How do you build strength? And there are certain things that you need to do to make it happen. And it's not happening in those follow along classes. It's not happening if you change your workouts every week. Okay. So get a strength training program and start doing proper strength training. Second, you probably are wondering about equipment. Do I need dumbbells? Do I need a bench? Do I need a barbell? Do I need a squat rack? What do I need? That depends on whether you want to be training at home or at the gym. So that's kind of the first decision that you need to make. If you happen to have a gym membership, then the gym is a great place to start because you have tons of equipment, all kinds of weights, all kinds of options on how to train your body. But I know it can be super intimidating to go into the gym. I know that was not my choice when I first started strength training, when I was feeling blobby, when all my muscle tone had disappeared after menopause. So I started at home. And you can definitely make that choice too. And if you start at home, all you really need are some dumbbells and enough room to lay out a yoga mat. Okay. So it doesn't require any huge investment. In fact, I got started with some dumbbells that were gathering dust under my bed. And if you have some that are laying around the house, then get started with those. Now, I will say that you will quickly outgrow those if you're following a good program and doing things right. Those won't last you forever, but let's not overcomplicate things. Let's just get started. The other thing you need to decide is how many days a week you want to train. 2 or 3 times a week is plenty. The biggest difference between 2 and 3 times a week is that when you train twice a week, you're going to do 2 full body days. That is because you want to hit each of your muscle groups twice a week to stimulate them so that you get the increases in strength and muscle size. When you train 3 days a week, you can spread that out more. So for my clients that train 3 times a week, I do an upper body, lower body, and a full body session. Now, once you know whether you want to be at home or at the gym, and how many days a week you want to train, then you need to get your hands on a program that is designed for that place and for that frequency of training. And the program is a really important piece here. And it is, I think, the thing that most women really, really skimp on. They think, oh, I'll just get something free off YouTube or from some Facebook group. But I'll tell you, I've looked at so many of those free programs and they just overcomplicate things. Like 95% of the time, they are longer than they need to be. They have too much redundancy in the exercises, too many sets, too long. I mean, they're just overwhelming. It's no wonder that women quit. What I love to do is to be super efficient and effective and get the most bang for your minute of time that you're spending. And that does take knowledge of biomechanics, what exercises hit what muscles, and programming, especially for 2 days a week, can be quite challenging. So if you're going to invest in something, I would definitely invest in a good program because that will get you from point A to your result faster. Once you've gotten all these pieces in place, just be consistent. Trust the process, show up for yourself, be it 2 days a week or 3 days a week, whichever you've decided. Follow that program. And we're talking about doing the same exercises, the same program for weeks on end. Because in order to build strength and muscle, you need to apply progressive overload. I talk about that in other episodes, so you can listen to those. I'll link in the show notes. And that can't really happen if you keep swapping up your exercises. So you want to be consistent as far as following the same program for at least 8 to 12 weeks, and then also making sure that you're overall consistent in training, that it's not like you do it 1 week and then you take 4 weeks off and then you do it again. So if you're consistent following a good program, then you will start feeling and maybe even seeing results in as little as 10 weeks. And you can really transform your body to be stronger, firmer, more toned, get rid of belly fat, especially the visceral fat, which starts to move when you start strength training properly in 6 to 12 months. But you need to get started. So those are the big rocks for getting started. You want to be doing proper strength training, not cardio with weights, not some group fitness class, not some free things, follow alongs online, but proper strength training. You need to decide whether you're going to train at home or at a commercial gym. And at home, all you need are dumbbells. Then you need to decide on your frequency. So will you train 2 or 3 days a week, or maybe even 4, but if you're a beginner, I recommend the 2 to 3 days a week. Then get your hands on a program that is designed to be used 2 or 3 days a week at the gym or at home, depending on what you've made the decision to do. And then start doing that consistently. And really, those are the things that are going to move the needle the most. There are also a lot of other things that you can tweak, and there are the smaller rocks, but the big rocks, the big pieces that you need to put into place are those, and just get started. And if you still feel like, oh, I don't know, and if you want to test out strength training, I have a little mini course available now. It's called Lift It. It is a 10-day mini course where you get mini strength training sessions that you can do at home, even with a couple bottles of water if you don't have weights around, so you can see kind of what this is all about. Because I know if you've never done strength training, it may feel like taking a trip to Mars, where you just want to understand what the heck is it going to be like, there. So that's what Lifted is for. And I've priced it super economically. It's only $7 for the 10 days. And it is proper strength training. And it also has some education in there so that you can feel more confident and comfortable with really getting going after that. Link is in the show notes. And with that, I hope that helps you to get started with your strength training. It really does not require more than those things that I talked about today. Get going. You will thank yourself a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now. I am so grateful that I got started, and so are so many hundreds of other women who have gotten started with me over the years. So until next week, I wish you happy training.